Welcome back to Gun&ShotTV. This is Chris. Today we're going to be talking about another exciting Ruger product. In this case, this is a Ruger 1022 Takedown. For some reason, I've always really thought takedown rifles were pretty neat. So when this came out, I was looking for a second rifle to shoot an Appleseed event with. And I figured, well, I could buy another 1022, or I could buy a 1022 Takedown. It seemed like a pretty good idea. Something different. You can see it's got this case it comes with. I've got 4 25 round mags that fit perfectly in there. Pretty nicely thought out case. They've got some attachments on the front to put Molly attachment systems. I've got a sling that I threw in there. This is a GI style web sling. This is only a 1 inch, but it works okay for Appleseed. Got some random ammo, earplugs, and a flashlight, and just some goodies. Try and leave this in my trunk during the summer. It's pretty handy to have. Just out somewhere, hanging out with friends by a campfire, decide to shoot some targets, whatever you want to do. It's pretty nice to always have an extra trunk gun, if you will. I did have to do a few things to it to get it ready for an Appleseed event. For the Appleseed, you need adjustable sights. So I got these tech sights. You also need slings. So I put sling swivels in here. I drilled it out, screwed it in, used a little bit of JB weld so it didn't come off. I went through internally and I cleaned up the trigger a little bit. I made my own bolt buffer, and I also ground down the bolt latch, so when you pull the bolt back, the bolt frees up and shoots forward, so you don't really have to deal with it. It's a really neat gun. I really like it. It's stainless, although for some reason having it in my trunk at various points in time for a month or so at a time, even though I clean it and keep it oiled and everything, I did get a bunch of weird black, some sort of corrosion on the barrel and on the bolt. I'm not really sure how that happened. I mean, I know stainless is not stain proof; it stains less. But I thought it was kind of weird because I've had guns that I've certainly subjected to more abuse than that weren't stainless and didn't get that weird corrosion. I was never able to figure out. It could have been somehow related to the JB weld I used to hold these swivels in, or sling studs, pardon. I don't know if maybe that outgassed or something, because it seemed to be mainly around where the barrel met the forearm. But anyways, long story short, the gun, it's a pretty neat gun. It's pretty handy. It's easy to take apart. You just pull the latch, twist, comes apart. You do have to make sure you lock the bolt open if you want to take the takedown apart. The extractor goes into that. So if you try and take it down without having the bolt back, you'll possibly break the extractor, bend the bolt, something bad. You can close it, put it together with the bolt closed. It's not going to hurt anything. But to take it apart, and then Ruger always recommends, this is another tip you should know, after you assemble it, they recommend slamming the bolt closed 5-10 times, try and seat everything. Now, as I said, I bought this for Appleseed, and at the time it had first come out, there were lots of reviews saying they tried it, they zeroed it, they shot it, and it held zero. Now, I unfortunately wasn't able to quite get that good. I had issues with stringing when I took it to Appleseed. I have a feeling some of the reviews may have had better luck because they were using the stock sights on the barrel. With the tech sight, if there's any sort of misalignment in this takedown mechanism, this is on the receiver, this is on the barrel. These are both on the same piece. It's probably going to shoot a little bit truer if you take it apart. So, needless to say, I took it to Appleseed. The first day I shot with it, I had a lot of problems with stringing. I couldn't keep the shots in one place. I'd adjust the tech sights, and then the shots would go somewhere else. I also had problems. It was raining in 30, so I kept having the peep fill up with water, and I have to break my my stance to blow out the peep every 3 seconds. And that was, I'm hitting a shot or two and then breaking, blowing it out. I had tons of problems. I also had a bunch of problems when I was lying on the ground, prone, trying to shoot For some reason, the angle for me, my contact was rolling up in my eye, and everything was getting blurry from that. So I was just not doing well. Even before I started really having problems from the rain and everything, when it was still snowing, and my eyes were cooperating because I hadn't been shooting all day, I still was having issues with the accuracy. So I bought it for Appleseed, and it's a handy, great gun, and I really like shooting it. It was not a good gun for Appleseed. On the second day, I ended up switching to my Ruger 7722, and that's how I actually earned the patch. So, while they're cool guns, I don't know that I would take it to an Appleseed or a marksmanship competition. In fact, the reason I changed to 7722 was the Appleseed instructor said, by the way, we've noticed you're a good shot. You seem to be, following the technique. We taught you well. However, we noticed you're stringing, and we've had numerous students that have had problems with takedowns. They said that in their experience, they hadn't had a student that did well with one. So that kind of made me want to switch to something that wasn't a takedown. And like I said, I ended up switching to a bolt action and getting the patch on my first Appleseed. So I don't think it was that I was a bad shooter. I wasn't following the technique correctly. I just think that for whatever reason, the takedown mechanism just allows enough slack. Even if it's just the fact that you're using the sling, and when you're pulling it tight, that sling is going to flex that takedown mechanism enough to maybe throw it off. So great to have in your trunk, great to go hunting with or anything like that. Very handy, but probably not the best accuracy rifle. So if you're looking at something like Appleseed, even though Appleseed doesn't necessarily require great accuracy, it helps to have something that's easy to zero and holds it well. For Gun and Shot TV, this is Chris saying, have a rootin' tootin' drunken shootin' day.